All right, so I'm gonna try to do a little tutorial on how to mod your rosters or your squads using loadout definitions that I've set up and shared with our alliance and our guild. Um, so this first part is going to require a HotUtils subscription. Um, Later, I might do something on how I can do this for folks who are in guild and or maybe even in the alliance and be able to apply these loadout definitions to their rosters and their mods and then just give them like a printout to manually update in game, and then they could save that loadout in game. But let's go ahead and start out here. So once you get into HotUtils, it's going to be important that you uh, fetch or refresh your data from in game. It's going to break your in game connection, so whatever. Um, So make sure that's done. Now, the next thing we're going to do is we're going to go to mods. We're going to go down to playground. Now, when you come into playground, you might, if like you were doing something in here before, um, you might have like a cached session or something like that. It's just I think it's a good practice to just come in here and reset the settings. We're starting fresh basically. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. This is going to reset all of like our previous stat weights and primaries and sets and stuff like that for certain characters. Now, I'm not going to go in here and like find the characters that I want to mod. Like, um, uh, let's say somebody in your guild has created some loadout definitions for like light side geo territory battle or something like that, which I did, and I'm going to show how you can use those. What you would want to do is come in here and go to template. And then once you're in the template, you're going to want to import the loadout definitions. So I've only saved a couple in here so far. I have like a whole roster baseline that I'm still kind of building out. Um, where so far I think all I've done is set the primaries and the sets, but I haven't set like stat weights or any stat requirements or anything like that. But it's a lot easier to do that for like targeted squads. So we just started phase 1 of light side geo territory battle. So I started remodding my teams because I saved loadouts last time and then lost the definitions. So now I'm saving definitions and I'm just going to automate it every time. Every time I'm going to do these battles, as long as I have time for it. I think really like the loadouts are just kind of a backup if you want to use those to quickly swap to it. If you don't have time to like re-mod these teams based on a definition. But it's been a while. I've improved my mods a lot since then, so it makes sense to do it now. So anyway, I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna do this first one here. This is I don't have Jedi Master Kenobi, so I'm gonna use this Jedi Master Luke. Um, Split out from Jedi Knight Luke. I'm gonna use this team right here, and I included the Discord for the Fueled by Rage server because this is I use their guidance to set like the stat weights and stuff like that for these characters. So when you find the one you want, well, actually before that, it's easy for me. I see mine right up here. You might not see that when you come here, so you would want to search for, if you're. It depends on like what guild you're in or etc. But if you're in my guild, I have them added to the light side territory battle tag, and you could probably search for rib, I would guess. Let me see if that does anything. Yeah, you search for rib and you would see mine, or whoever the author is, like if it's a officer or something, someone in your guild who's done this or shared them. So these are the two that I have generated so far for light side territory battle. You're simply just going to come over here and hit load. Two things before I do that. You can see that there's like version numbers and the last time it was modified, so that's kind of helpful. You can see how old they are, really. So I'm going to hit load. And now, remember I said I wasn't going to like search for characters and stuff like that. Since I loaded that definition, I saved it as just these 5 characters. So it basically gets rid of everything else for you, which is really nice. Now, this is the order that I set up, the modding order I set up. If you wanted to switch these around, you would just come over to basic, and then you can drag and drop them. Okay. Go back into advanced. It's going to. So, like I said, I created stat requirements, stat weights, stuff like that for each character. So that's why you're seeing these green and reds. So right now, oh, and actually, these are the mods I actually have on my team right now. So you're seeing what I was able to do. So for Jedi Master Luke, you can click your targets here, and you can see that I wanted his speed. I want his speed to be over 535, and I want his protection to be over 110,000. I click in here and take a look at his stat weighting. I leave everything at 100% of just the things that I think are important for him. So more on this in a minute. Here's the required stats. What I set for him, and then his primaries. I'm saying he needs to use protection primaries, and you can also use a speed if that makes more sense for your mods. And then for him, we're saying using he must use a speed set and a health set. So, so he met this. I'm pretty good with like this one. I don't think I would mess with it. Like if he's fine, so I would come down and keep seeing who, how they've turned out. Like Gas seems fine, but Jedi Knight Revan, he missed his target. So actually, if you hover over it, it shows you what it should be. So it should be 105,000. He only got 89,000 health, and then 330 speed. He only got 303. I mean, this is what you really want. Maybe my mods don't support it. Like maybe your mods, maybe all this will be red for your roster if your mods are really bad. Or maybe it'll be all green and it'll be really easy to achieve if you have crazy mods. I'm probably somewhere in the middle, and so I can get most of these characters to meet the requirements, but then some not. And then when you see yellow like this, for Shock, I set her targets as desired targets. So like I wanted her to have over 350 speed and over 140,000 health, but that's a crazy amount of speed. She's kind of like an alternate character anyway for this squad, so I'm not super concerned about that. Let's switch over, since I've already have these mods set on this team. Let's switch over to one of the other ones. So just for good measure, I'm going to go ahead and reset everything, and then we'll go back to templates, and let's do this Padme Fiverr first team for the special mission in phase 1. This is what I use for them right now. I don't have Cat and I don't have Jedi Master Kenobi, so I'm using this team for the special mission. So I'm going to come over here and hit load. Okay, so now right off the bat, we see basically everything's red. And that makes a whole lot of sense because they're missing mods and stuff like that, because I was just using that other team in a territory battle. So we can take a look at the targets and stuff like that I have set up. So Padme needs to be 340 speed or more, 90,000 health or more. I've got health and speed are the important stats for her. Primary, health and speed sets. Pretty straightforward, but I mean, most of these are health and speed for this team, but I think I have like ARC Troopers a little bit different than everyone else, like physical damage, and then got a physical damage minimum for him, and then health, offense, offense, cross, crit dam, triangle, and speed arrow. and then offense and career chance. And when you come in here, if you really don't agree with anything that someone has done in this, you can quickly add something or change something and just save it. It's no big deal. Um, but if you don't want to think about it and somebody else has done the work for you, you can do that. You just pull it in and just run with it. So now that we have the definition loaded in, we're just going to hit the automate button. And I don't do anything special in here. I don't want it to break mod sets. I think that the mod sets are important. I do let it auto reorder when you fail targets. So in other words, like if like fives fails this target, but Padme hit it, then like it's gonna move fives up ahead of Padme and like try to do it again to see if it can hit it. I don't notice a huge difference with it, but we're gonna hit it. Okay. All right. So remember, this just did a calculation. So this didn't move your mods in game or anything like that. This basically just said like this is where your mod should go. It didn't spend any money or anything like that, or credits or whatever you call it. But looks like we missed a stat target for Padme and one for Rex. Okay, all right, that's fine. So we missed our speed and we hit our health. So we're like 16 over for health, and we missed speed by kind of a lot. There's some things that you can do here. Now, I don't do a whole lot with my particular Padme because like I can't lower the health stat weight to get the speed up. Because I'm already like right at the minimum. Um, there's probably some more I can do, but I don't want to go too in depth. But I think I have another example on this team that I'll show you. So fives looks fine with me. 18,000 over his health and 20 over speed. I mean, that's all fine. When he dies, he's just going to hand it off to somebody else, so that's good. Rex, this is the one that I think we can tweak a little bit. So he missed his speed by a lot. I wanted him to be 330. He got 289. I wanted him to have at least 70,000 health, but he got 16, almost 17,000 more than I wanted him to have. So what I do in that kind of case, what that means to me is that for my mods, I would like to lower the priority of health, and I want the priority of speed to be higher. So I'm going to just take this down to like 75% or something like that. Save it. And then just go ahead and automate again. So I don't think it really changed our speed too much. It didn't change hardly anything here too much. So we need to make this a little more drastic. So I'm going to speed this up and bring it down to like 25%. So our speed was 289 and 86,000 or 87,000 health. Let's see what happens after we automate it again. All right, so we're still missing it, but we went from 289 to 296, so that's a pretty good jump. And we actually didn't sacrifice a whole lot of health. We only sacrificed like 1,000 health or something like that. So what that means is we can take the health down even farther. So let's take it down to take it down to 0. Or let's take it to like 1. So we're still saying health is more important than everything else, other than speed. It was 296 speed. Look at that, 308. And we're still over our 70,000. Now, one thing you could do is like we're still way over our health and we wanted to go down. You could come over here and you could start giving it a negative stat weight. So let's try 5. I don't know what this is going to do, but got 308 speed. Speed didn't change. Health really didn't change too much. Kind of splitting hairs here at this point. Like I'm just not going to get to 330 speed with my mods. Just kind of is what it is. So I'm kind of good with this wherever it is. I got my 308 speed, which was good because it was 280 something. So that's pretty good. And then I look at Arc Trooper. Arc Trooper hit all of his minimums. That 10,300 physical damage instead of 9,500. That's good. Echo. You know what? Might actually add potency for Echo. Oh, I did. I added a so I don't have a potency required stat, but I have added some weighting to potency because Echo, you want him to stun and stuff like that. So um, let's see, his potency's at 50. So I don't know. Maybe that could be better. I'm not sure, but either way, this looks fine for me for right now. So once I have all this in place, I mean, if you're ready to just push it in game, like there's two different things you could do. You can save this as a loadout, and the way you would do that is you would go over to File, and then you would name the loadout, and it automatically puts in the definition name here for you, which is really nice. And then you can give it a category like SWGOH. You don't want to use all the characters in the loadout. You don't want to use all 219 or whatever. You just want the 5 that's specified here. I don't push the game and save at the same time because I've been having errors when I do that. So I just create the loadout. So I'll go ahead and hit save. And now there's a loadout in here under my phase 1 filter, and there it is. Blue as well, so I don't know if this is because it's coming from a loadout definition. I'm not sure. But then I can simply hit the load button and it'll push the mods in game. Another thing I could do, if go back to it reset everything, didn't it? What I'll do is I'll open it back up from here. So if I wanted to edit this, brings me back to where I was. But I don't have my stats, so let me my definition. So import the definition again. This is kind of awkward. I would just add it into the game, but I just wanted to show another way rather than if you don't have to save a loadout. So here we are. Everything looks the way it was before we saved it as a loadout. What you can do is you go to review, and then you're comparing it with your mods that are currently in game, and then you just hit push mods, and it's as simple as that. So hopefully this is helpful. And I'm gonna start creating some more loadout definitions for my guild. And thanks for watching, and hopefully this is helpful.